Hi, welcome back, beautiful, beloved souls. My name is Gem, Jem, Gemstone, author, psychic medium, and I do both PowerPoints and commentaries. And I'm following up on, I've been doing a lot of PowerPoints and commentaries recently on consciousness, sovereignty, and death. And I want to follow up with the NDEs we never hear about. For those of you who don't know what an NDE is, it's a near-death experience. It's where a person has died for a few minutes or so, and then they usually see what's happening. They report certain things that happen, and then they come back to their bodies. So we're going to look at the NDEs we never hear about. When most people hear the words near-death experience, they think of one very particular storyline. Bright tunnels, a loving figure, a life review, maybe even being sent back because their mission isn't finished. These are the narratives that dominate YouTube and mainstream discussions. But they are not the only experiences. In fact, they are not even the majority. What we rarely hear about are the other near-death experiences, the quiet ones, the peaceful ones, the ones without angels, tunnels, or religious imagery, the ones that are simply awareness in a soft, comforting blackness. And yet, these are incredibly common. The missing 40 to 60%. Across major studies, Danish, American, Australian, and European, there is a consistent pattern. So, around 20 to 30% of NDEs include tunnels or light. Around 10 to 20% involve a life review. That's quite small, 10 to 20%. So let's average that out. That's 1 in 6 near-death experiences. Around 15 to 25% involve seeing people or beings. But 40 to 60%, that's 1 in 4 people, or even more, involve no figures, no tunnel, no religious imagery at all. These are often described as blackness, peaceful void, floating awareness, soft nothingness, warm emptiness, clear but neutral consciousness. I knew I existed, but nothing else was there. I can relate to all of those. And these people, they don't make viral videos or get invited to podcasts. Why? Because I experienced a peaceful blackness and felt aware. Doesn't fit the dramatic, click-driven way platforms that promote NDE content. But it is still a near-death experience, a profound one. So, let me repeat my experience, which fits this often hidden category. I, at the time, overdosed. My life was chaotic and painful. At the time, I believed deeply in tunnels and life reviews. I had practiced spiritual systems that teach about light realms. I was religious at various points, a Baha'i and a Christian. I was also afraid that one day I might be deceived by a demonic being. I was in a traumatic domestic situation. My overdose was serious enough that I should have died. And yet, what came was peaceful blackness. I was aware. I could still feel, see, be. But there were no beings, no punishments, no judgment, and absolutely no fear. If anyone was primed psychologically and spiritually to see tunnels, figures, or life reviews, it was me, and yet I didn't. This is important for people to hear because it challenges the idea that near-death experiences are one size fits all, or that religious content in NDEs is universal. NDEs reflect consciousness, not doctrine. Research shows that Christians tend to see Christian images. Hindus often see Hindu figures. Muslims may see Islamic imagery. Atheists often see neutral voids or beings without labels. And many people see nothing external at all. So, when YouTube pushes the only Christian style NDEs, it creates a false impression that they're the real ones or the only ones. My NDE tells the opposite story. Despite my previous beliefs, there was no tunnel, no judgment, no celestial being waiting to review my mistakes. Instead, I was met with sovereignty, stillness, a clarity that wasn't influenced by fear or belief. So, what does the black void really mean? Many people who, like me, experience the blackness NDE describe it later as comforting, safe, timeless, like returning to a deep inner home, a place before identity, awareness without pressure or expectation. This is not nothing. It is consciousness without form. It is being without story. And paradoxically, these experiences often leave people less afraid of death than before. Why life reviews are not universal. Life reviews happen, but they are not the rule. They are not compulsory. They are not required for growth. They are not divine punishment. And if someone reflects every day, if they have processed their life honestly, why would they need a dramatic cosmic slideshow designed to make them feel guilty? Many researchers believe the life reviews only show up when it's needed, not as a judgment, but integration. And many people, like me, do not get one at all. This is not failure. It's completion. A sovereign death experience. My experience speaks to something important. When consciousness is sovereign, even in crisis, it doesn't get pulled into tunnels or forced into a judgment scene. It stays itself. It stays clear. It simply is. And whether we call that source, awareness, the void, or simply consciousness without body, it is one of the most ancient descriptions of what lies beyond life. Why my commentary matters. People like you deserve to know that death is not one story. NDEs are not one template. Religious experiences are not mandatory or universal. Peaceful, void experiences are just as valid. Not seeing Jesus, angels, light, or a tunnel is completely normal. Sovereignty can exist even at death. Fear-based interpretations are cultural, not factual. I hope my voice can add balance. I hope my experience can bring honesty. And I hope my willingness to speak about it without fear, without doctrine, and without trying to convert anyone is exactly what people need to honestly hear. Thank you very much for watching. I would be interested to know if you've had a near-death experience or what you think. Thank you again. I appreciate any and every view. Please be kind to each other and to yourselves. Love, light, and blessings. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.